All right, good morning, folks. Today we're talking about how do you know what's going to grow well in your area, or what are some of the things you should grow because they already grow in your area. So, for me in Florida, we have these sandy, acidic soils, and so what I need to do is I need to go out in a similar habitat type to my backyard. So we're going to call this savanna. Oak savanna maybe, because there's a lot of oaks and a lot of open areas. If you got pine trees, pine savanna, which there are pine trees in my neighbor's yard. So I went to some woods nearby that are kind of open, and what I found was a lot of blackberry and some blueberries. And actually I found two different types of blueberries. So those are berries that are really good for you. They're delicious. I like them. And I'm growing them. So let's check out the blackberries and blueberries that I've got. Alright, so nothing special here. This is a small plant that I just bought. It's an improved variety from the University of Florida, but the species is a southern highbush blueberry. I like to go to places that are like smaller businesses where the owner will talk to you and tell you all kinds of good information. And go to these places and ask them what's going to be the best blueberry for my area. And they'll take you on a ride and give you a whole bunch of information. Alright, what the heck is that thing? It's like a worm inside of a debris cocoon. It's going somewhere. Y'all let me know if you know what the heck that is. Alright, back on topic. Look at that beautiful bush here. We got some more leaves down here. This is a blackberry. Now, the big drawback of blackberries in the wild is they're covered in thorns, and they're really difficult to deal with and get through. So you can basically just access the berries on the edge of that patch. That's not ideal. So this is an improved variety. It produces big blackberries, and it does not have any thorns on it, which is super amazing. Whoever bred a variety that doesn't have thorns, they should get a high five or something. But anyway, so this is the variety I've chosen for my backyard because I don't want my son sending him out to go get berries and he comes back bleeding, especially when he's a little guy like this. See, he's a little duder. And so this is the variety I selected, and you can get this at most nurseries, even at Lowe's or Ace Hardware, Home Depot, whatever. This is something that is gonna grow fairly easily in my own backyard. So why wouldn't I grow plants that are already growing in this environment with nobody tending to them? Because when you tend to them, all of a sudden you can make them even more productive. And then when you get a variety that's already been improved by generations of people before you, well, you really should. That's a huge gift, and you should receive that. Don't go dig up wild stuff and try and plant it. I mean, you can if that's what you're interested in. That's why I've got these plants in my yard, is because they grow well here. They're native plants, and that's hard to argue with. A lot of this other stuff is not native, but it's been improved by generations of people, sometimes over thousands of years. So that's a lot of hard work, and we should take advantage of it because it brings sustenance and life to us. All right, speaking of growing stuff that grows well in your area, this is a grapevine. This is a wild one that came up on its own, and I'm leaving it because I've had really amazing grapes from wild vines. So this is just another example. I forgot about it until I was walking away. I thought I was done with the video, but this is a really great example of a native fruit that grows well in my environment. And this is a wild one, and it's really good just the way it is. There's improved varieties, but if this is going to come up and produce good fruit, I'm definitely not going to go out of my way to go get some improved variety when the improvement really isn't that drastic. All right, here we have another plant. This is a squash, a winter squash. It's called Seminole pumpkin. This is a plant that Native Americans have grown in this region for hundreds, if not over 1,000 years. So clearly I want to get seed and grow it in my own area. Same with, we've got some corn. My corn's not doing great. I'm not a great corn farmer, but it's doing okay. Maybe it'll shape up. It looks a little rough. But corn is another thing that was grown in North America. I mean, all the way from South America to North America, all the way up to Canada. And so this is, find the variety of corn that grows well in your area. I clearly need to do some experimenting here because I'm not very impressed so far. But it's corn and it'll grow fine, and there's some that are going to grow better in your area than others. So I'm still on the lookout for a good Florida corn variety, if anyone has a heads up for me on that. But at the end of the day, this is all experimentation. So this is just the place that I begin, is with what's growing in my area. So we've got the blackberries, the blueberries. Also look at what other people are growing. I mean, Florida's known for citrus, so looky over here. I'm growing a bunch of citrus trees because, well, I literally live in a place that has the word orange in the town name. So I ought to be able to grow some decent citrus here. And look around what's already here. I found those are pear trees. I found an old pear tree that was growing, took seed from it, and grew those pears there from that seed. And persimmons, these are a native tree, a native fruit tree. So clearly I'm going to sprout some out and I'm going to grow them. So this is where I focus. I'm probably not going to try apples because I don't see anyone growing apples around here, but I definitely see persimmons, blueberries. Mulberry is another one that I don't have in my yard at the moment. And yeah, so I'm just going to keep trying different things that have been tried and true and proven in this area. And at the end of the day, whatever survives is going to be great stuff. And as long as I don't baby it too much. So that's the way I look at stuff, is, I'm going to grow what's already growing, and then neglect it just enough, and whatever does really well, collect seed from it. And I'm just going to begin producing a more and more resilient plant that is productive, that's going to provide for me in my environment when it counts. So that's what I'm interested in. It's a lot of fun, and y'all have a great day.